If God is pointing out an area in your heart that you know will sabotage you later in a relationship, this is a sign God is going to put you through a season of training before dating. I used to work at a Christian men's crisis center here in Cleveland, Ohio, and in this facility, we would help men go through a program who were dealing with issues like homelessness, addiction, or mental health issues. One common experience I had at this crisis center was that I would be working with a guy for months on end, and I'd get to know him, and I'd start to wonder what's really wrong with this guy. How did this man end up in this situation? Because after getting to know him for a few months, he seems really smart, he's really funny, he's really social, he has a good work ethic. What's going on? And then oftentimes what would happen is that through the length of the program, some sort of ticking time bomb inside of this man would get triggered, and then you'd see what led him to his season of crisis that he's in now. Perhaps another client would say something and this guy would just flip out and become really violent. Or maybe he went out on the streets, maybe just went to the store for something and then ran into someone he knew in his past, which triggered him, and then he went back to his drug or alcohol addiction. Or sometimes guys would just get too confident and then they'd stop taking their mental health medication, and then their mental health issue would flare up. My point is, many of these guys had a ticking time bomb inside of them, and they didn't know how to deal with the triggers that would come up throughout their life. And likewise, we all have this same problem in our own lives, just in different forms for all of us. We all have those ticking time bombs inside of us that, when properly triggered, go off and just cause all kinds of problems for us. And this is especially true when it comes to relationships. Some people are really mature Christians and they're doing well in their singleness, and you just look at that person and say, wow, this person is really walking with the Lord. But then that person gets into a relationship, and this relationship triggers something inside of them that just sets them down a bad path that really hurts their walk with God. Sometimes an old wound from a childhood experience is triggered through a relationship, or a wound from a past relationship that did a lot of damage to that person. Or maybe they have an identity issue or some sort of insecurity that gets flared up every time they start liking someone or they get into a relationship. Or even sometimes it's just a temptation that they haven't learned how to overcome. A sexual temptation in a relationship just is too powerful for some people and they don't know how to deal with that.
So remember,